Are you putting your Volvo into storage this winter? Here's our 7 best tips on things you have to do before putting it away. And the first step is of course to have a clean car, both outside and the inside. And make sure you wipe down the steering wheel, seats and the handles extra carefully, because that's where it gets most dirty and the most bacteria, and this will prevent it from growing any mold. And my second tip is to open the window a crack, to avoid mold growing and trapping moisture inside the car. This way the air will circulate inside the car. And my third tip is to put some extra air into the tires, and this will help them keep their shape while the car is standing still. You can also put the car on jack stands or change to a set of wheels that you're not as careful with. And my fourth tip is to have the battery fully charged when you put the car away. If you're gonna keep the battery inside the car, you need to remove one of the connectors from the battery. Because if the battery goes flat and it freezes, that will break the battery. So my fifth tip is to check your fluids, for example the coolant system, so it doesn't freeze over, as well as the engine oil. Now I need to fill this. So my sixth tip is to not use the handbrake. Instead put the car in gear and it will stand still by that. There's a big risk that the handbrake will seize. So my seventh tip is to not leave the fuel tank on empty like on this one. Instead you should keep it at about 90 to 95% full. And it's also a good idea to add some fuel additive that will keep the fuel fresh for a longer time. And this goes for both petrol and diesel, because there's a risk of condensation inside the fuel tank. And with diesel there's a risk of condensation and as well as microorganisms starting to grow inside the tank. So now it's fueled up and ready for winter. I'll see you in spring.